Tonight on NewsVision, Mr. Worldwide made his way to the 305. Find out what students had to say about the latest guest speaker for the What Matters to You series.
It's still surreal. It feels like a fever dream that it even happened here.
Plus, the controversial bill nicknamed Don't Say Gay has been signed into law. Learn more about what this means for Florida schools and how students are responding.
You're clearly singling out, clearly discriminating against in this situation, and we feel it.
And later on, the Hurricanes men's basketball team danced all the way to the Elite Eight but fell short in their fight for the Final Four. Find out what's next for Kings Hoops.
You know, in basketball, someone wins, someone loses.
These stories and a lot more on tonight's show. NewsVision starts right now.
Hello and welcome to NewsVision. I'm Daryl Barnes.
And I'm Annalise Iraola. Thank you for joining us. We'll have the latest on brand new COVID guidelines on campus and the latest on the Don't Say Gay bill.
Yeah, Annalise, but first on Tuesday, over 2,000 students packed into the Watsco Center on the UM campus for one of the biggest guest speakers of the year. But for hundreds of these students, it was not easy to get into the audience. On Tuesday night, Miami native and award-winning musician Pitbull rocks the Watsco Center. Not with a performance, but with a conversation.
I'm gonna put it together.
It's still surreal. It feels like a fever dream that it even happened here.
It was never supposed to happen here, though. What Matters to You planned to host its event in the much smaller CELYTA Center ballroom. But when tickets ran out in just 4 minutes on Friday, the organization found itself facing an unhappy student body.
With such a big name like Pitbull, I feel like there should have been a lot more tickets available to students, and it should not have been in such a small ballroom.
A few days later, the organization announced that Dr. Pat Whiteley and the Division of Student Affairs helped move the event to a much bigger venue, the Watsco Center. The event usually takes place inside the CELYTA Center ballrooms, which fit about 700 people, but now once they moved it to the Watsco Center, they could fit 2,500 people, almost 1,800 more.
I was very happy that we were able to listen to student concerns and be able to host more students.
We needed more space. As many people as possible, get the full experience. Every student should have the opportunity.
And after the event, students said that the bigger space made a huge difference.
It was just a really overwhelming experience, but it was really fun because half the student body was what it felt like it was behind me.
And for the What Matters to You team, the university's admin stepping in to help means just as much as the event itself.
Just knowing that our university has resources and people that want to listen to student concerns is amazing.
For UMTV, I'm Daryl Barnes.
Starting tomorrow, University of Miami students will no longer be required to test for COVID-19. The change comes as cases decline on campus and more students are getting vaccinated. The U-Screen surveillance testing program had been in place since the return of in-person classes in fall 2020. The university is expected to announce new testing locations for anyone who has symptoms.
And speaking of COVID, the highly contagious Omicron subvariant is now the dominant strain in the U.S. The CDC says the subvariant called BA2 has caused more than half of all COVID-19 infections last week in the United States. Also, the World Health Organization says the subvariant is the main cause of infections around the world.
We know that this new subvariant BA2 is even more transmissible than the original Omicron variant, and it is spreading quickly.
Despite this, the increases in cases, COVID hospitalizations in the U.S. are near the lowest point ever. However, health officials warn that with the new variant combined with lower mask usage could cause a rise in cases.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a controversial bill restricting certain LGBTQ topics in the classroom. The approval comes after much backlash, as many feel the bill will negatively impact an already minority community.
Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay measure, as critics have dubbed it, is now law. On Monday, Governor Ron DeSantis appeared defiant at the bill signing, after months of controversy.
I don't care what big corporations say. Here I stand. I'm not backing down.
DeSantis, referencing Disney's condemnation of the bill, which has also sparked student walkouts in some Florida schools. Although it does not specifically ban the use of the word gay, the bill does prohibit instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. Supporters argue that the measure gives parents greater oversight over what students learn and discuss at school, and that LGBTQ-related topics should be left for families to discuss at home.
Parents have a fundamental role in the education, healthcare, and well-being of their children.
But opponents say the measure negatively impacts an already marginalized community. So far, at least one LGBTQ rights group, Equality Florida, has threatened legal action against the legislation.
You're clearly singling out, clearly discriminating against in this situation, and we feel it.
Meanwhile, the Trevor Project, a nonprofit that works on suicide prevention among LGBTQ youth, released a statement saying, quote, "LGBTQ youth in Florida deserve better. They deserve to see their history, their families, and themselves reflected in the classroom."
The bill's signature is the latest in Florida targeting members of the LGBTQ community. Governor DeSantis previously approved legislation targeting LGBTQ Floridians, including an anti-trans sports ban last year.
And over on Capitol Hill, Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson has received some good news. Republican Senator Susan Collins has expressed she will support Brown. This is the first Republican senator to back President Biden's Supreme Court nominee. After the senator heard Ketanji's testimony, she met with the nominee twice and has decided to put her faith in her. Senator Collins also defended Ketanji's record on crime, despite other Republicans who called her sentencing lenient. Although Democrats hold the majority, Senator Collins' support makes the vote bipartisan. It is still unknown if any other Republican senators will back Brown's nomination to the highest court.
At the conclusion of that extensive review and conversation, I came to the conclusion that she clearly had the credentials, the experience, the qualifications, and the integrity that I look for in a Supreme Court justice.
The Judiciary Committee is expected to vote on Judge Brown's nomination on April 4th.
Back here in Miami, last week, hundreds of thousands of music lovers attended Music Week. The week featured artists performing at different venues throughout the city, and as reporter Jackson Dill tells us, one of the more popular events is Ultra Music Festival.
Musicgoers returning to the Ultra Music Festival in downtown Miami this past weekend, and the excitement surely was there. For Jose Licaro, this was his first time at Ultra, and it definitely won't be his last.
And I was blown away by the production. It's way more than the music. It's actually like the stage, the lights, the people, everyone's like super lovey. The vibe of the people is like something you cannot recreate. It's really organic, and I'm hooked.
Thousands attended the largest music festival in Miami between Friday and Sunday from around the world at Bayfront Park. Popular artists were there, including David Guetta, Alesso, Elenium, and this crowd favorite,
probably Tiesto's Sunset Set. He always kills it every time.
That's true. Tiesto also, it's my first time here. So excited to see Ultra. We can't wait to see Tiesto tonight.
The annual event has not been held since 2019 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, so many have looked forward to this year's event more than ever.
We've been waiting 2 years to go to a proper festival again, and the lineup is really good.
Yeah, I've had these tickets since July of 2019, so 3 years later and we're finally here.
And the last time Ultra was in South Florida, it was held at the Miami Marine Stadium on Virginia Key, which caused Ultra traffic congestion because it was on an island. The large crowds this year still caused travel troubles. Many roads in downtown were shut down over the weekend with a large police presence in the area. And the city encouraged attendees to use public transportation, but there was still overcrowding on the Metro movers that caused delays. Despite any issues surrounding the festival, the general consensus was that it was a fun time.
I think I'm never going to be too old for a music festival, just like you said, man.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Jackson Dill.
You know, Ultra was fun for Miami, but Annalise, there's been a different type of excitement for other areas of the country with the recent outbreak of severe weather.
Weathercaster Jared Maloney is here to explain what those storms are doing now. Jared?
Yeah, we had some severe storms over the southeast part of the country, a couple tornadoes that had a couple fatalities, which was very unfortunate. And right now it's moved over to towards the East Coast. We have an enhanced risk, which is a little bit lower than what we've had recently. And as we look at the live radar now, there we go. And we see that we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. We had a couple tornado warnings earlier, including over Raleigh and Richmond, but looks to be that those tornadoes didn't cause anything major. And right now these storms are going to become less severe as the night progresses, but they're going to get through New York and Boston before they head offshore. After that, it'll be clear skies ahead over for the most of the country.
Thank you, Jared. See you later in the show. On Sunday, actor Will Smith shocked the world when he slapped comedian Chris Rock in the face during the Academy Awards presentation. Rock made a joke about the actor's wife, and Smith did not take it lightly. The joke was about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, but she has been open that she has a medical condition called alopecia that causes hair loss. After the joke, Will Smith walked on stage, slapped Chris Rock, and then could be heard yelling obscenities at him.
Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow!
Academy officials say they asked Will to leave, but he refused. He later won an Oscar for Best Actor. The organization's Board of Governors is reviewing the incident, and Smith could face suspension or expulsion from the Academy.
The family of actor Bruce Willis revealed he's suffering from a medical condition that's affecting his cognitive abilities, and he's taking a break from acting. The die-hard actor's daughter, Rumor, shared the news on Instagram, saying he's been experiencing some health issues and was recently diagnosed with aphasia. The Mayo Clinic says aphasia is a condition that impacts the ability to communicate and can be caused by a stroke, head injury, a brain tumor, or a disease. Rumor posted, this is a really challenging time for the family, and they're appreciative of the continued love, compassion, and support. You know, it's kind of sad to see both of these things going on in Hollywood at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thoughts and prayers go out for him and his family.
Yep, but still ahead after the break here on NewsVision. One cafe on Miami Beach does not have any coffee, but has the perfect replacement. Stick around, NewsVision. We'll be right back.
A domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Thank you for staying with NewsVision, and happy Cuban Culture Week. Throughout this whole week, the Federación Estudiantes Cubanos has been holding events celebrating Cuban heritage.
We now go live to Alex Turr, who is at the RAT, where the organization is currently hosting a domino tournament for all students. Alex, how's the event? Have you been able to get into any of the games?
Well, guys, competition's definitely brewing here at the RAT, where FEC knows how to play some dominoes. I was able to go inside earlier and talk to a couple players where they called the game a way of life. Cubans play this game at birthdays, weddings, and even funerals. I tried my luck on there, it was terrible. I could not catch up. The tournament is one of many events held here this week. Earlier on Tuesday, FEC held Cafecito on the Rock, where they gave out free coffee, pastelitos, and certificates to become honorary Cubans if they answered a set of questions. Some other activities have been being the organization of the day at the UM baseball game on Sunday and helping out with the Pitbull What Matters to You event. I asked FEC President Sydney Stropes why Cuban Culture Week is so important to her.
I think too many non-Cuban students on our campus, when they think Cuba, they think cigars, rum, old cars, stuff like that.
And we want to teach them that Cuba is so much more than that. Cuba for me is cafecito, it's family, it's amistad, that friendship, right? It's everything that makes you feel loved and a part of something larger.
Guys, Cuban Culture Week ends tomorrow with closing ceremonies at the Rock at noon. There will be games, music, and of course free food. Everyone that came to any of the events this week loved it as they were able to embrace a new culture that is near and dear here at the U. I'm going to go inside right now and try to see if I can actually win a game. Reporting live from UMTV, I'm Alex Turr. Back to you guys at the studio.
Alex Turr, thank you. One Cuban native in South Florida has led a successful music career to pursue his passion for helping others. Reporter Charlie Hill introduces us to him.
Guiding promising new talent for a major record label to nurturing the joy of music in school children, Randy Suarez has found his rhythm.
There were days where I had to pinch myself. This is really happening. I'm really here.
Randy Suarez worked in the entertainment industry for Universal Music Group as a strategic marketing manager for 10 years.
Where I would basically negotiate to put songs in TV shows, films.
But 10 years later, now a devoted father of 3, Suarez is looking for a change.
My wife had just made the leap from teacher to principal. And she said, why don't you try teaching? And I said, sure, I guess I'll give it a shot.
Randy began his teaching career 12 years ago at SOMI Academy, a charter school in South Miami, where one of his favorite subjects to teach is, you guessed it, music.
When I teach music, I get to teach what I love, and they could totally sense the passion for the subject.
Suarez's former students and current UM students, brother and sister Camila and Diego Romero, are a key example of the power of his influence.
You know, pouring yourself wholeheartedly into the things that you're passionate about, and through that, people will see your passion and they'll become passionate, and so on and so forth, and that's exactly what he did to me, and I know a lot of other kids who were in there who were, you know, in need of that kind of guidance, I guess.
He's such a good guy, just a good person, and he really cares a lot for every single one of his students. I mean, I can tell you that firsthand, you know.
Although Suarez has worked with many big names such as ABBA, Rihanna, and Jay-Z, he says it is not these celebrities that he is most impressed with.
If I run into one of my students at Publix, I will completely, like, fanboy. I'll run to them. I'll take a picture with them. I'm in awe of them.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Charlie Hill.
What a great inspirational story.
No, yeah, Charlie did a really good job capturing that too, so props to her.
Well, we've been treated to some wonderful weather recently.
Yeah, and I hope that continues into this weekend, hopefully.
Weathercaster Jared Maloney is here to give us the details.
Jared, is our recent streak of great weather going to continue?
Well, unfortunately, it's not looking like it. We see this partly cloudy skies here. This is going to be the end of that after today. Right now, we do have a bit of a breeze, and that's the one thing notable there. And as we see here, the rain is starting to peek in off the sides. We can see right in that upper left corner. That's not going to reach us tonight, but tomorrow it will be on us, and it'll be on and off rain during the day. It'll still mostly be fine, but it's just something to keep an eye out. The winds, though, I was at Ocean Awareness Week today, and we had tablecloths blowing all over the place. Those winds are going to continue for at least the next 12 to 24 hours, but by the time we get into Friday night into Saturday, those winds will be completely gone there, so we won't have to worry about that at least as we're dealing with the rain. As we see in this future cast, we have a front diving towards the south, but no, it stalls and stops in Central Florida. It sort of dissipates through the weekend. But we do have another system coming, just a little brief shot of energy coming across the Gulf of Mexico and through Florida. We'll be watching out a little bit for a severe threat there, but we're not thinking too much. We're thinking that's just going to elevate the shower chances as we head later into Saturday and into Sunday. But speaking of everything else, the dew points were brilliant last week, but right now, we're back into the 70s. It's going to be very, very muggy, and we're going to get absolutely no relief as we don't have a front coming through for the foreseeable future. Into tonight's forecast, it's very cloudy and warm. It'll be our last really nice night here as tomorrow the rain begins. And it's also going to be very hot and humid in general. 87, maybe a tad bit high if we get a storm at the right time. Could knock it down a couple degrees, but still unseasonably warm. As we look at our 7-day forecast, we see we don't have a high temperature below 82, and I'll let you know that's our average for this time of year. So we're really running about 4 to 5 degrees hot most of the days. Our rain's going to continue from Friday through Monday, but after that we're going to enter a drier period again. So unless you really hate the heat, it won't be too bad once we get through the weekend, though. Unfortunately, you'll have to watch out a bit during your weekend plans.
Thank you, Jared. Cat cafes are popping up all over the nation, and there are several right here in Miami. Reporter Leslie Ann Dominique visited one of them in South Beach and found out that it is taking an unconventional approach to tackling the city's stray cat problem.
Here comes Mikey. There's Ned.
Former officer TRACI Sierra enjoys good coffee and good company. Sierra was on duty when she passed by one cafe in Miami and inside saw someone she just knew she had to meet.
I looked at her and she looked at me and she looked away like, okay, I don't have time for you.
Still, it was a love at first sight for Sierra, who knew at that moment she was destined to adopt Cleo the cat. This is where the two met. The Cat Cafe provides a temporary home for local homeless cats through partnership with an animal foundation called Saving Sage. Since opening 4 years ago, the cafe has become a popular attraction in the Miami area, but it is also a lot more than that.
So it's above and beyond being a trendy, cool thing. We actually have an enormous street cat population and many, many cats that need homes.
According to the Humane Society, there are more than 100,000 stray cats in South Beach, where they outnumber the human population. The Cat Cafe is one solution to this problem, and now cats like Cleo have a second chance at a loving home. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Leslie Ann Dominique.
I'm Regina Potenza, and after the break, a basketball run to remember, Pro Football Day at the U, and mid-season baseball updates. All this and more when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right, so it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're gonna take the laces, we're gonna cross them over, we're gonna turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Hello, I'm Regina Potenza, and welcome to sports. For the first time in University of Miami history, the men's basketball team advanced to the NCAA Tournament Elite Eight. Let's take a look at the highlights. Miami played Kansas for the chance to advance to the Final Four. Starting off in the first half, Cameron McGusty at the top of the key. What does he do? Dribble in high right post, pulls in for the jumper, bring Miami up 3 over Kansas. Miami continued to widen its lead into the first half. Isaiah Wong intercepts a pass to Kansas on the baseline, takes it all the way for a full court layup as Canes take the lead going into the second half. Christian Braun from Kansas scores a deep 3, and after this play, Miami was not able to take back the lead for the rest of the game. Kansas outscored the Canes 47-15 in the second half and won by a final score of 76-50. While the Canes' March Madness run was cut short, they were greeted by an excited crowd outside the Watsco Center late Sunday night. Going into the season, the Canes were predicted to finish 12th in the ACC. And even though Miami won at Duke and beat UNC by double digits, the Canes were on the bubble on Selection Sunday. The Canes defeated USC and Auburn to advance to the Sweet 16 and made the Elite Eight for the first time in program history after beating Iowa State before falling to Kansas last Sunday. This basketball season was the most successful in UM men's history, and the team is proud of all they accomplished. From the basketball court to the football field, let's talk about some Canes football. With the NFL draft just around the corner, Miami held its pro day Wednesday afternoon. Several former Canes took the field, including wide receiver Mike Harley, who turned heads with his performance, board jumping over 10 inches and vertical jumping over 35 inches. And with NFL teams watching, former Canes quarterback D'Eriq King threw touchdown passes to Harley. The 2022 Canes will take the field on April 16th for their spring game. And head coach Mario Cristobal is optimistic about the upcoming season.
So there's improvement. We still have, long ways to go. We're trying to close that gap every single day. But the consistency is the most important part. Consistency in physicality, consistency in execution, consistency in toughness.
And finally, Canes baseball is on a 5-game win streak and jumped into the top 25 for the first time in 3 weeks. The Canes are 18-6 on the season and are 7-2 in ACC play. Last weekend, Miami swept the number 13 Tar Heels and also picked up a midweek victory over Florida Gulf Coast. The Canes will head up to Durham, North Carolina on Friday to take on Duke. The Blue Devils are 3-6 in ACC play and 12-13 overall. That's all I have for sports tonight. I'm Regina Potenza.
And still to come on NewsVision, it's Commuter Students Week. Find out why some commuter students are trying to escape from the CELYTA Student Center. We'll tell you why when we return.
The Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Do you love escape rooms and do you love Miami? Well, if the answer is yes, get ready for this.
One on-campus organization has both tonight, and our reporter Bella Papadou joins us now live to tell us what's more. Bella?
Thanks, guys. The University of Miami's Commuter Council hosted an originally made Miami-themed escape room tonight featuring Pitbull. The event started at 5 p.m. here in the CELYTA Student Center's 3rd floor Vista room and ended just a few minutes ago. Escape rooms include different games where teams work together to discover clues, solve puzzles, and accomplish tasks to exit the room successfully. The sold-out escape room is one of many events the Commuter Council hosts for commuter students to stay involved on campus. And what does Pitbull have to do with the event tonight? Well, we were here to rescue his dog, and it took quite a few tries, but we got him out. Reporting live for UMTV, I'm Bella Papadou.
Thanks, Bella. And baked, boiled, or smashed, however you like them, enjoy potatoes today because it's National Tater Day. Whether it's hash browns, french fries, chips, tots, pierogies, or potato soup, you can post what you're eating with the social media hashtag National Tater Day. Some fun facts about the versatile vegetable. There are more than 4,000 varieties of potatoes in the world, and there are more than 200 varieties in the United States alone. And on top of that, potatoes are the most consumed vegetable in the United States. You know, Annalise, I didn't even know that all those things were types of potatoes. Not even gonna lie.
They're so great. Any way you do it, potatoes are amazing.
And I guess I'll have to get some mashed potatoes for myself after this. Anyways, that's all the time we have for this evening. Thank you for joining us.
We'll be back next week for another edition of NewsVision. Until then, have a great night.